The summer sun beat down on the small town of Rosegrove. Inside Café d'Amour, the lunch rush was at its peak. Waiters dashed between tables. Plates clattered, and laughter filled the air, except for one corner. There, a small boy with matted hair and worn-out sneakers sat alone, staring at an empty plate, tears silently trailing down his cheeks. His shirt was too big for his tiny frame, and he clutched a faded teddy bear at his chest. No one noticed. No one, except 23-year-old Malik, an underpaid, overworked waiter with dreams much bigger than his paycheck. Malik watched from across the room, tray in hand, brows furrowed. He couldn't ignore the kid. Something about that silent sadness. It hit too close to home. Malik leaned toward the kitchen window and whispered to the chef, "Hey, Tito, can you sneak me a scoop of vanilla?" Tito narrowed his eyes. "You paying for it?" Malik sighed and pulled out a crumpled note. "Take it for my tips." Moments later, Malik knelt beside the boy, placing a small glass bowl in front of him. The boy looked up, surprised. "No charge," Malik smiled. "But only if you promise to smile." The boy's lips trembled before curling into the smallest of grins. It wasn't much, but for Malik, it felt like saving a life. "Malik!" roared Mr. Bronson, the cafe manager, the moment he saw the ice cream. He stormed over, face flushed with rage. "You think this is a charity? You're giving away food now." "It was just a scoop," Malik said, shielding the child with his body. "Then go work at a soup kitchen. You're not paid to be a hero. Clean tables. That's your job." Customers stared. The boy flinched. Malik bit his tongue, lowering his gaze. He'd seen this before, power hiding behind a name tag and a clipboard. But even as he scrubbed tables later, Malik didn't regret it, not even a little. As the boy stood to leave, he tugged at Malik's apron. "My name's Jaden," he whispered. "Thank you." He handed Malik a napkin with a smiley face drawn in red crayon. Below it was scrawled, "You're the kindest grown-up I've met." Malik tucked the napkin into his shirt pocket. He didn't know that napkin would later be shown on national television. The next morning, Café d'Amour buzzed louder than usual. Malik arrived to whispers, stares, and phones in hands. "What's going on?" he asked. Tito grinned. "Dude, you're trending." "What?" Tito turned his phone around. There on the screen was a video, blurry but unmistakable. It showed Malik kneeling beside the boy, handing him the ice cream, and then Jaden hugging him. But that wasn't the shocker. The video had been posted by a woman named Annabelle Hayes, and she wasn't just anyone. She was the host of Heartline News, the biggest national morning show in the country. Malik stared at the video in disbelief. Over 800,000 views. Thousands of comments. Hashtags trending. Hashtag ice cream hero. Hashtag kindness matters. Hashtag Jaden and Malik. People were calling him a hero, but all Malik could think was, how did this happen? Tito smirked. Annabelle Hayes caught it on camera, said she was having coffee down the block, and came to meet someone when she saw it unfold. Mr. Bronson marched out his office, his face pale. "Malik, in my office. Now." Mr. Bronson plastered on a grin as Malik entered. "Malik, my boy, what a wonderful, humanitarian moment yesterday. Truly touching." Malik narrowed his eyes. "Didn't you nearly fire me for it?" Bronson chuckled. "All a misunderstanding. PR gold, my friend. We're putting your photo on the wall. Employee of the month, that." He handed Malik a new uniform shirt. "Corporate wants you to wear this when the news crew arrives tomorrow." Malik didn't know what was worse, being punished for doing the right thing or being exploited for it. After his shift, Malik was about to hop on the bus when a black SUV pulled up. The back door opened. A tall woman with auburn hair and piercing eyes stepped out. It was Annabelle Hayes. She smiled warmly. "You're a hard man to find, Malik." Malik blinked. Why are you here?" Annabelle's voice softened. "Because what you did yesterday shouldn't be forgotten in a 30-second clip. I want to hear your story." That evening, cameras rolled inside the cafe as Annabelle interviewed Malik in a booth. Malik hesitated, then slowly shared. Growing up in a shelter, losing his mom at 16, raising his little sister, Amina, working 3 jobs to keep her in school. The times they went to bed, hungry. But someone gave me free food once, he said, looking down. So when I saw that boy, I remembered. Annabelle nodded, her eyes glistening. Jaden's note, the one on the napkin, sat on the table between them. The next morning, millions tuned in to Heartline News. They watched Malik's story, his pain, his strength, his act of quiet compassion. Annabelle ended the segment with a tearful smile. If more people like Malik existed, this world would be a better place. Donations flooded in. So did job offers. And something else, recognition. But not everyone was happy. Mr. Bronson scrolled through the comments, his face sour. Why him? He thought. Why not me? I built this cafe. He picked up the phone and called the district supervisor. About that waiter Malik, we may have a problem. Later that week, Malik was invited to a charity gala in New York hosted by Annabelle's foundation. The cafe should have celebrated him. Instead, Bronson told corporate Malik had stolen inventory, a fake report, doctored footage from the kitchen camera. Lies. Malik returned from the gala to find a notice taped to his locker, suspended pending investigation. Malik felt like he'd been punched. He'd done nothing wrong. And yet, people believed the rumor. The online buzz cooled. Job offers paused. He walked through town with his head down, avoiding stares. Even Amina, his sister, was confused. They're saying you're a thief, Malik. Is it true? No, he whispered. But the truth's not loud enough sometimes. One rainy afternoon, a knock came at Malik's door. It was Jaden, this time in a suit with a man beside him. The man introduced himself as Michael Green. Jaden clung to his hand. I didn't know who Malik was at first, Michael said. I was out of the country. Jaden is my son. Malik blinked. You're his father? Michael nodded. And the CEO of Green Tech. Jaden tugged his sleeve. He's the one who bought me ice cream when I was crying. Michael smiled. Jaden doesn't talk to many people, but he hasn't stopped talking about you. Michael Green visited the cafe personally. He confronted Mr. Bronson in front of the staff and customers. I investigated your claim about Malik stealing. It's false, and I've submitted a legal complaint for defamation. Bronson stuttered, sweat pouring down his brow. Malik stood by the entrance, stunned. And Michael turned to him. You're not just a kind man. You're exactly who I want on my team. I'd like to offer you a job at Green Tech. Gasps filled the room. And just like that, the tables began to turn. Malik stood frozen. Michael Green's offer echoed in his ears. I'd like to offer you a job at Green Tech. You mean like an office job? Malik asked. Michael chuckled. No, Malik, not just any job. I want you to lead our community kindness initiative. We need someone with your heart. Applause erupted from the cafe crowd, except for one red-faced man in the back. Bronson turned and stormed into his office. For Malik, the door to his old life had just closed, and another, far greater one, had swung open. Later that night, Malik broke the news to Amina. She dropped her school books and screamed with joy, hugging him tightly. You did it, Malik. After everything, you did it. He smiled. No, we did. She pulled out the napkin from his wallet, the one Jaden gave him. I told you kindness would come back around. Green Tech HQ was unlike anything Malik had seen. Glass towers, sleek conference rooms, and a buzzing energy of innovation. He was assigned a mentor, a sharp but kind woman named Lydia Grant, who was in charge of Green Tech's global outreach programs. You won the boss's heart with ice cream, she joked. Now let's show the world what that heart can really do. Malik listened, learned, took notes, asked questions. He wasn't over his head, but he wasn't afraid. He'd been drowning before. Now, he was finally learning how to swim. Meanwhile, things at Café d'Amour went from bad to worse. After the investigation revealed Bronson's lies, corporate terminated him. The cafe lost customers. Reviews tanked. An ex-employee went viral on TikTok, sharing Bronson's history of abuse and wage theft. Bronson's name became synonymous with corporate cruelty. The man who tried to ruin Malik now found himself blacklisted by every major hospitality group in the region. Back at Green Tech, Malik began drafting new programs for underprivileged kids. "Let's start in the neighborhoods I know," he told Lydia. "The ones where I grew up." He proposed after-school coding classes, mental health check-ins, free meals on weekends. "Ambitious," Lydia said, "but bold. I like it." When he pitched it to Michael Green, the CEO smiled. Approved. Full funding. Malik couldn't believe it. Just weeks ago, he was scrubbing dishes. Now, he was building systems that could change lives. One afternoon, Malik received a letter. It was handwritten, neat cursive. It read, "Dear Malik, you don't know me, but I'm Jaden's mother. I've been away receiving treatment for depression. I watched the broadcast from the hospital. Thank you for showing my son kindness when I couldn't. You changed more than his day. You helped heal our family. Forever grateful, Alyssa Green." Malik read the note 3 times, tears in his eyes. Some victories aren't loud. Some are handwritten in quiet gratitude. Months passed. Malik's projects flourished. One day, Lydia walked into his office with a wide grin. "You're not going to believe this." She handed him a golden envelope. It was an invitation to speak at the National Acts of Humanity Gala, a televised, prestigious event that honored changemakers. "You're not just attending," Lydia said. "You're the closing speaker." Malik's hands trembled. From busboy to keynote, the stage was massive. Lights hot, cameras everywhere. Malik stepped up, heart racing, and adjusted the mic. "I used to think the world didn't see people like me," he began. "People from shelters. People washing dishes just to get by. But one day, I saw a boy crying alone. And instead of walking away, I did what someone once did for me." He pulled out the napkin. "This is why I'm here." The crowd rose to their feet. A standing ovation. Justice had come, not through revenge, but through recognition. Following the gala, Malik was interviewed on major platforms. His story became a case study in business schools. The power of kindness in the age of influence. He partnered with other foundations, started his own scholarship fund, built mentorship pipelines for teens from low-income backgrounds. Jaden's photo sat on his office desk, beside the famous napkin. Sometimes, the smallest acts create the biggest ripples. One Sunday, Malik returned to the old cafe. It had new management, a new name, a softer energy. A group of young waiters recognized him and rushed over. "You're him." He smiled. "I used to clean tables here." He left a generous tip and a note on his receipt. Never underestimate the power of small kindness. Malik, as he stepped into the sunlight, he realized this wasn't the end of his story. It was only the beginning. A year later, Malik stood before a brand new building in Rose Grove. Bright blue walls. A big courtyard. Kids laughing inside. It was called the Jaden Malik Center for Youth. Funded by Green Tech and donations from across the globe, it offered free meals, tutoring, therapy, and creative workshops to underprivileged children. During the ribbon-cutting ceremony, Jaden, now more confident, standing tall, held Malik's hand. "You changed my life," he whispered. Malik knelt beside him. "No, Jaden, you changed mine." One day, while cleaning out storage at the center, Malik found a box labeled Café de More Memories. Inside, his old name tag, worn shoes, a coffee-stained notepad with orders scribbled across it. He stared at the notepad for a long time, feeling everything at once: pain, growth, resilience. Later, he had the name tag framed and hung it in his office beneath a plaque that read, "Remember where you came from." Surprisingly, a letter arrived from prison. "Bronson, Malik, I watched your speech from the gala on the prison TV. I hated how the world loved you, but deep down, I knew you deserved every bit of it. I was wrong. About you, about everything. I've started counseling. For the first time in my life, I'm owning my mistakes. I hope one day I can show the world I've changed too. Bronson." Malik folded the letter and tucked it beside Jaden's napkin. Not forgiveness. Not yet, but maybe someday. Annabelle Hayes invited Malik and Jaden back on Heartline News for a Where They Now segment. Millions tuned in. Jaden sat proudly in a tie, and Malik, now a nationally respected figure, shared how one small act had sparked an entire movement. It wasn't about fame, he said. It was about showing up. When someone's hurting, show up. He turned to the camera. And if you're hurting, hang on. One act of kindness can find you when you least expect it. Malik expanded the youth center's outreach. He started a summer internship that brought kids from broken homes into professional environments. Media, law, engineering. Don't give them charity, he said to partners. Give them opportunity. Let them be seen. Jaden was among the first interns. His passion was film editing. 1 year later, his short documentary about Malik's journey won a National Student Award. Behind every spotlight, there's a shadow. Malik never craved fame. He often deflected interviews, avoided red carpets. He preferred classrooms, street corners, quiet chats with boys like Jaden and girls like Amina once was. But the world insisted. So, instead of fighting the light, he learned to redirect it. Every press moment became a spotlight on someone else. Every interview, an invitation to the forgotten. Years flew by. One spring afternoon, Malik sat in the audience as Amina crossed the stage, diploma in hand. She graduated top of her class in social work. When she spoke at the ceremony, she said, "My brother didn't just raise me. He raised a standard for kindness, for sacrifice, for integrity. He didn't buy me toys. He bought me tomorrows. And when he gave a child ice cream, the world finally saw what I've known all along. My brother is a hero." The crowd stood. Malik wept openly. Years later, a documentary aired globally titled Scoop of Hope, the story of Malik and Jaden. It followed Malik's journey from the back kitchen of Café d'Amour to boardrooms, award stages, and broken neighborhoods across continents. It ended with a montage of kids around the world receiving their first free meals, signing their first scholarship letters, opening their first books. And all of them wore a sticker on their shirts. Be like Malik. One cold afternoon, Malik returned to the now-closed shell of Café d'Amour. It was boarded up, the sign faded. He stepped inside through a back door, breathing in the ghost of his old life. He found the booth where Jaden once cried, sat there quietly. Then, from his coat pocket, he pulled out a small tub of vanilla ice cream. He placed it on the table and whispered, "Thank you, little man. You saved me, too." 10 years after that fateful day, Malik opened a global headquarters for the Kindness Initiative, now operating in 14 countries. Jaden, now 18, joined him on stage as co-director. Media, politicians, and celebrities applauded. But Malik looked out beyond them. He saw waiters. He saw janitors. He saw kids watching from shelters, dreaming of a scoop of hope. To them, he said, "If you're waiting to be seen, remember, kindness sees you first. You don't need money, fame, or power to change the world. You just need to care. Even if it starts with something as small as a bowl of ice cream."